Hey, North Mr. Good here. This is a quick video on using the calculator to figure out these linear regressions. So let's get right into it. I'm going to turn my calculator on. Now I'm using the 83 Plus. This is probably the most common. It's one of the older ones. It's going to be very similar to any other 83, I believe, but they've come out with these fancier, newer ones. You're going to have to figure it out on your calculator. This should be pretty similar, but you might have to just figure it out on your calculator and then use it a little bit differently. So anyway, let's get started. We first have to make sure that diagnostics are on. I'm not typically, you can actually click D here and it jumps right to the D's. I'm actually not as familiar with these calculators. I never used them when I was in school for this type of stuff, and so I'm more comfortable with Excel and stuff, as I've said before. So this should be the kind of the bare essentials of what we need in order to do the kinetics problems on our calculators and figure out what the order of a reaction is. Okay, so make sure your diagnostics are on. So you just saw me do that. You have to click enter so it says done. Then we can go to stat. We can put in our numbers here. And I actually already typed these in. So my L1 is my time. My L2 is my concentration. Now a little trick here, I don't know if you know this, but you can actually go up. If you highlight L3, you can say equals natural log, and then go to second L2. So it's going to take the natural log of whatever's in L2, hit enter, and it automatically calculates all of them for you. Okay. Go over and let's plug in 1 over, because we want to do it in this order. Oops. Let's do that. Let me go up again. Equals 1 divided by L2, because again, we want whatever's in L2, we want to take the inverse of it, the reciprocal of it, and do it that way. So now we have our concentration, our natural log of our concentration, and 1 over concentration, right? For L1, L2, L3, L4. L1 is the time. When you have all that set up, it makes it a lot easier. Okay. Now let's go to stat calc. I'm going to click 4 for linear regression. Now on the 83, if you hit enter here, it defaults to L1 and L2. It ignores L3 and L4. Okay, and we have the R squared value. You're given the slope, the intercept, and the R squared value. Now this isn't as close to 1 as I'd like, so let's try. That was time versus concentration. Let's do it again. But this time, type in L1 for that's our time, comma L3, which is our natural log, right? And then it will run those numbers. And look at my R squared value now. It's very, very close to 1. That looks like that's our guy. So if that's the case, it would be first order, because the natural log is the first order one, right? Let's do it one more time, though, just for kicks, just to make sure. I'm going to go to calc 4 for linear regression. This time I want to do L1, comma L4. This is time versus 1 over concentration. Enter. And my R squared value is not as high. So we're looking for that 0.999, and then take the slope. I would write those down, right? So you can use them in the rest of the problem, and then you're good to go. I did see the newer calculators that have like an LCD screen. When you go to the linear regression right here, it doesn't jump right to this. It jumps to like what L's do you want to use? Do you want to use L1 and L2, and you just change it to L3 or change it to L4 or something like that, and then hit enter or calculate, and then it runs it. So they added in, Texas Instruments must have added in an extra screen there to kind of allow you to select which variables you want to run. Whereas in this, you just have to know that you can type in L1, L3 if you want to run those 2 columns. Okay? So that's how you do the linear regressions. That's all you need to do. You don't need to go to the graph. You don't need to do any of that stuff. You're just trying to figure out what order of the reaction is in, right? If the concentration versus time gives you a straight line with an R squared value of basically 1, then you're good. If it's the natural log that gives you that, then it's first order. If it's the inverse, the reciprocal that gives you that, then it's second order. That's all you're going to use it for. Okay? You don't need to get into the complexities of graphing and trying to find points on the graph and stuff like that. Okay? Just do the linear regressions, and that should be all you need. All right. So now, hopefully, you have the tools to to do homework problems, practice problems, and certainly